No, but you ever watch that old poker show on TV, the ESPN? Well, I love that poker show. We got pocket tens. We don't have a great hand, but we got a chance. And so we're going all in.
Hey guys, welcome back to the fourth and final episode of the All In podcast. This week, our episode is going to be all about social media. My name is Mary Mack.
I'm Braylon. I'm Kate.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Khalil. And like Mary Matt said, this is our last episode. So last episode, we had Sammy Brown, worshiper himself. And now we kind of flip the script, but also just a more professional version. I'm sure everybody has seen all the graphics, Clemson football posts, all the vlogs, just everything kind of social media with Clemson. Well, this is the man behind the screen, Mr. Kyle Coulter. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. Anything for my favorite safety. All right, Kyle, I'll get you started here with some questions. So maybe just walk us through what your job looks like on a day-to-day basis and what are you usually working on? Yeah, man. Well, first of all, great to be seeing you guys. Thank you for having me on. Real honor when Khalil asked me. Excited to share my insight and just talk about what I love to do. Like I'm very fortunate to be, living a dream and waking up excited to go to work every day. And part of that reason why I'm so excited is that every day can be something different. I could be traveling to Louisville on a Thursday to play at night on Friday, or we could be welcoming Team Penske and a NASCAR pit crew to the parking lot and doing burnouts in front of, the entire team. So it really is different every day, but I can kind of boil it down to a few different things intermixed. A lot of it is planning. A lot of it is working on my whiteboard over here and trying to figure out new ideas, workshopping, meeting with our other creative teams, and figuring out, what ideas can we produce this week. Secondly, it's actually producing. A lot of times it's going out and either shooting practice or a workout or something else that's happening around the facility. Part of the days also consisted of editing. So I spent a lot of time here in Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects creating content for Clemson football social media accounts and in venue. So the fourth quarter, the intro video, all of that stuff is produced by me and my team. And then lastly, probably the most important piece for us to talk about today is producing the Clemson football social media accounts. It's a huge job. It requires a lot of vigilance. It requires a lot of attention to detail. And that's, not only posting, but also, thinking of copy, strategy, keeping an eye on comments, and where can Clemson football be a part of the conversation. So if, the Baltimore Ravens post something about Nate Wiggins, Clemson football's got to be there in the comments hyping him up. Because that's part of, where the brand accounts can act more personable, and you can start to attract different followers from different teams if you're in the mix there in the comments. So that's probably a good mix of what I do on day to day, and the percentages of all those things vary day to day.
Do you
Ooh,
just do like clips of football?
As far as social, yes, there
Okay.
are times where I'll step in and help with other sports.
hmm
More so in the past years. I'm going on my fifth year at Clemson.
Okay.
I mean, my first few years, I shot soccer, basketball, did a ton with lacrosse, did a ton with gymnastics, did a little bit with baseball. But now, recently, with the demand
hmm
from football, I moved my offices from the Jervey and McFadden building over here into the cab. So I'm looking at the indoor facility right behind me here. So my role has changed a little bit over the years, but now I'm more so focused solely on football.
So like when football season's over, does your day-to-day look like completely different?
It does in a sense.
Okay.
I think the off season this year was actually a lot busier than in season this year. Just because we've started to work on more long form revenue producing content. So
hmm
uh, Khalil knows we do the house call series. So we travel to four different athletes' homes and interview them there, get to know them through where they grew up and their families. It's been a really successful series for us, and it's
hmm
started to gain more national attention. So they've started to put it on linear television. Those episodes aired on ESPNU, ESPN2 this year. So with that, they need to be longer. Instead of being 10,
Yeah.
11 minutes, they need to be 22, 23, 24 minutes.
So that requires more work. And then
Yeah.
we also did a 48-minute long documentary on the spring practice. So it's a lot more shooting and
Okay.
editing, and then going to morning workouts, getting stuff that we'll need for the season in the off season. So yeah, it's a little less structured. I think
Okay.
in the season, you know what you're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the most part. A wrench could get thrown in there every once in a while, but the off season, it could be like, hey, we got someone coming to campus we need to do a feature on, or we're chasing this new story. There's a lot more open-ended questions in the off season, but still a grind. The season doesn't
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Um, Kind of going back to what you said when you were talking about your day to day, when you're planning out content, what are the main things you do to like make it more Clemson specific and make everything feel like Clemson?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for us, we're really lucky that Clemson football is built on such a strong foundation of values. Like Coach Swinney has set out the values of this program from day one, and they have not changed. So we can always fall back on those. It's graduating our players, making sure they have a great college experience, winning championships, hard work, and as our content just falls into those buckets. And so we're constantly looking across the country, and not just from college athletics, but professional athletics, music, entertainment. What are some trends that are happening? How can Clemson football be a part of that, but in a very, Clemson way? Now, I think, this year, I think hopefully coming up in the 26, at the 26, yeah, the 26, 27 year, we'll see us produce a lot more social content. Yeah, yeah.
Bro.
You couldn't help yourself, KV. You couldn't
I'm
help yourself.
sorry.
Um, we'll hopefully start to do some more. I want to do more player front-facing content, more social, real, trendy stuff, where we can help these guys' personalities shine. We do that in our long-form content, like the vlog and like house calls, but that not many people are sitting down to watch a 24, 25-minute episode. They're scrolling Instagram, they're scrolling TikTok and Reels. So we want to be there as much as possible. But during the season, Kate, to kind of get back to your question, we look at what milestones are coming up this week, what's going on. So it's homecoming, right? So we always want to do a more produced homecoming video. So I gave that to one of my students this year, Elena. She did a great job. Breast cancer awareness, Senior Day and Military Appreciation Day are coming up next week, so we want to make sure we hit those marks. Bowl game, want to do something great for that. So we're looking at like these big tentpole events and what can we be getting ready for weeks in advance. And then week to week, just we have our Monday creative meetings, and we kind of sit and throw things against the wall, things that we've seen and we want to try. So it's a good bit of like planning way far ahead, but then and also thinking, hey, like what's happening right now that we can execute on.
Kind of going on like the opposite side of that.
Yeah.
How do you like during a game, like how do you like get that like moment out there on social media like quick?
Yeah, those are some of my favorite days. I absolutely love game days at Clemson. It's a shame it only happens, 12, 13, 14, 15 times a year. But we've really got that down to a science over the years. So
Okay.
our creative team from top to bottom, I have a group chat that I run on game days that's sometimes between 18 and 21 people. It's a huge team. And that's of photographers, videographers, social, card runners, mobile content capture, which has been a huge thing for us as of late. And yeah, content velocity is what we call it. Content velocity is key. We want to make sure that we are capitalizing on a moment as soon as it happens. Now,
Mhm.
we are limited a little bit based off our ESPN contracts with what we can post in game. So we can only post two pieces of content from the field, from the stadium during the broadcast window. So that limits us a little bit. So when Cade runs that touchdown there on that first drive, we'll post a broadcast clip of it that we cut from the broadcast, which is we're allowed to do. But the stuff that we capture, we can't post until after the game. So if you look back at our
Mhm.
post from last week, you'll see that the mobile angle of Cade's touchdown went out immediately after the game was over. So just to really capitalize on that content velocity, and we really rely heavily recently on our mobile capture. That's been
Okay.
huge for us. That is the quickest way for us to get things from the field or from pregame or from Tiger Walk or from Walk of Champions or from We Win We Dance out quickly. And that the process of that is we have one or two mobile shooters. They're usually our students, and they'll be capturing the entire game. And we have a box folder set up on the content sheet that I create every week, where they can access that and take that mobile content and send it right to our social producer. So normally I'm running the accounts during the week, but during game days I'm out there shooting. So we have one of my coworkers. He's actually running the accounts on game days, and he does a phenomenal job. He actually is the one. His name's Matt Camp. He runs Clemson Tigers. So he steps up on game days and helps us with that, which is a huge help. So we just try to get stuff to him as quickly as possible, and he filters everything and then figures out what the best posting strategy is. And then once we finish We Win We Dance, then I take back over and start posting the rest of the content from the game.
I know that you touched on it whenever you talked about how you have to like cater certain posts towards like homecoming and military appreciation, and it's just a lot of content. But going off of that, how do you handle types of content like recruiting graphics, player features, hype videos, and how do you kind of prioritize what you post each week?
Yeah, that's a really good question. A lot of it, unfortunately, right now is result dependent. So, like we've dropped a few games this year, more so than we're accustomed to this year, and we haven't really been posting that much because now I think I want to get away from that. I want to start to create more result agnostic content that can still go out because you think about how the algorithm works. We could post something maybe from our loss against Duke or SMU, like Tristan's touchdown or TJ's one-handed grab, and it may reach people who have no idea that we lost the game, but they see it and they're like, "Wow, that was a hell of a play." So I think maybe next year we'll start to get more into that. But as far as how we handle different types of content, so I really don't handle any recruiting content. That's through Joe Robbins and his team. So Joe is the internal creative director. So him and his team of graphic designers and students, they work closely with our recruiting team, and they determine how many graphics go out each week and to which guys, because there's a certain there's a certain hierarchy of like our top tier guys who get a lot more content, and then some guys maybe in the younger classes that we're just starting to reach out to. So he has a great system for that. But then for us, I think I've been doing this a long time now, so I have a really good sense of the catching the vibe on social and figuring out what does the Clemson family, what do recruits, what do our current players want to see, and then try to execute on that. Sometimes that's a hype video, sometimes that's a cinematic recap, sometimes that's like a quick, fun mobile reel or something like that, or sometimes it's photos, sometimes it's graphics. So it's really kind of getting a sense for the moment. But then also we do have some things that we set our watch to every week. So we know we're doing the game week graphic. We know we're doing tomorrow we spot the ball. We know we're doing captains. We know we're doing the spray paint every week, which Joe Robbins, like I mentioned, he kind of spearheaded that and did a great job with that. That's gotten really good feedback. So during the season, we try to do weekly things that we know we're going to do every week. And then we fill in those other moments based on what happens in the game.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite type of content that you create?
Oh man, I mean, I think back to, well, I love making the fourth quarter video and the intro video. I think
Yeah.
that's just so special. And I was really happy that you guys got to see the intro video this year because in team meeting, because normally you don't. You're on the
Yeah.
bus. So just being able, I was standing on the hill, middle of the hill, waiting for coach to touch the rock last week, and I'm seeing the intro video play, and the stadium's rocking. Everyone's saying everyone's saying the lines word for word. They're ending with, "If you're not going to give 110%, keep your filthy hands off my rock," and then the crowd erupts. Like there's no better feeling than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you guys get hyped up for the fourth quarter video, like that makes it all worth it. And I really enjoy like the long form pieces. I love doing the house calls. I think that's a really cool way to get a peek into your guys' lives and help the Clemson family and other people get to know you a little bit better. So
Uh-huh.
when you do make a play on Saturdays, it means that much more to them because they know you. Um, and then I really enjoyed. I don't know if you guys saw the cinematic recap we did from the ACC championship game last year. It's about 10, 11 minutes long. I love that stuff. I love getting to show people because everyone saw the broadcast angle. They watched the game. They know what happened, but they didn't see Coach Luke firing the guys up in the locker room and Coach Eason firing the guys up in the locker room before the game. They didn't see what was going on at halftime. They didn't see like how hyped the sideline got after KB's pick. Like we can show them that and do it in a great storytelling way. So I'd say those are probably my favorite.
Last question for you. How has Clemson football's approach to like social media strategy evolved over the past few? I mean, like you said, you're five, so it's not like you've had to go through Facebook to Instagram or whatever. But like,
Well, hey,
they-
no, okay, finish your question, but then I'll tell you my progression there.
it's been like a rapid like kind of growth of other platforms like TikTok kind of blew up, Threads
Mhm.
kind of blew up, and like even like you said, Reels on Instagram. So just like, how have y'all been able to change y'all's approach?
Yeah, that's one fun thing about this industry is that there's always something new. It's constantly changing. What works on Instagram today may not work tomorrow. So you have to have your finger on the pulse of what's happening, and how people are consuming content. So when I started back in 2013, when I was in college, my freshman year, we were posting to Facebook, we were posting to the website, we were posting like 4 or 5 minute long videos. That and that was the thing back then. And then I've seen everything change rapidly, but then kind of come full circle a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Like where it used to be only cell phone footage because nobody had access to mirrorless cameras. And then it was, oh wow, we can make everything feel like a movie. And that was great for 4 or 5 years. And now we're back to mobile. Everyone wants to feel like their brand, like the brand account is like just their friend that they're following on Instagram that's posting from their phone. It feels familiar, it feels friendly. And that's also not only is that what the user wants, it's what the platform wants. And you have to keep that in mind. Like we can make a 3 minute 16:9 horizontal video and it can be really, really good, but Instagram may not send it out because that's not the kind of content that they want their users posting. They want vertical video shot on an iPhone that's going to keep people on the Reels platform so they can serve ads to them. So you need to understand the business behind it. Now, unfortunately, now Clemson was an early adopter on TikTok and blew up. We had for a long time one of the largest followings. We had the largest following of any college sports account in the country. But then unfortunately with the South Carolina law saying that no state-run institution could have a TikTok account, we had to sunset our TikTok account. So that's why you guys can't access TikTok on the Clemson Wi-Fi. That's why Clemson University doesn't have their TikTok anymore. So that was a tough blow for us because that was a huge recruiting tool and an entertainment tool for us. So we've really tried to double down on Reels and kind of take that same strategy and apply it to Reels. I think Reels right now is a little bit of an inferior product to TikTok as far as the algorithm and how it serves content to people, but it's still incredibly important. Of the social media platforms that we operate, as far as what you guys consume, it's Reels and Instagram number one. Then like Twitter and Facebook and and honestly, I have not really explored Threads much. Do you guys use Threads?
I don't have it.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, am I missing something here? Are people using Threads? But we do have it where whatever we post on Instagram also gets posted to our account. So we're active there in case there is a following. Maybe that's being a bad social media manager. I haven't really checked Threads because nobody's talked about it.
Jackson.
Okay. Well, Kyle, thank you for taking time out of your day to come talk to us a little bit about what you do and social media and Clemson football and everything. And we really appreciate it. And good luck the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate your thoughtful questions. And hey, let's go get a ranked win on the road this weekend. Let's do it.
Yes, please.
Let's do
You
it.
got a
Let's
post
do
in
it.
mind if that happens?
Um, I'm thinking of some things. We've got my full creative crew traveling, so we'll have a
Yeah.
lot of angles, a lot of good stuff. And again, it depends on what happens in the game. Last time we were at Louisville, we won on a goal line stand as time expired. So that was the story, right? So
Yeah.
what's the story going
Yeah.
to be? Is KB going to have 2 picks and we're going to highlight him, or what's we? But yeah, keep an eye out for some good stuff. We'll be posting.
Appreciate you, Kyle.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course,
thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
And we're back. That was a great conversation with Kyle. So thanks, Khalil, for that. We're gonna shift into our group discussion just kind of based on some of the topics that he talked about. What do y'all think stood out the most about how Clemson football runs its social media?
I thought it was really interesting that like they don't, I mean obviously they have like a long-term plan, but like that they start on Monday and brainstorm for the week. Like they don't know what they're posting for the game until in the game and after the game. Like I think it's cool that they kind of just like go with the flow and see what's happening. I would have assumed it was more like last minute.
Yeah. I didn't know that they had to like they could only post certain amounts
With
of
the
clips during
ESPN?
the
Yeah,
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
I
I
know
didn't
didn't
know
know
that.
that
that
either.
because I feel like I see so
I didn't know
many,
that.
but I
I
didn't
know.
even
Yeah,
realize that
Hmm.
some of them are after the game.
yeah. I think it was cool how he talked about like how many people are truly like on that team. Cause
Hmm.
like even seeing him every day, like we think of him as like boss man, which he is, like he boss man. But like all the people that go into even him talking about like Joe Robbins, like just
Hmm.
little stuff that makes a big difference with the content, but you don't really like see everybody behind it. It's cool.
How big are his teams? Like he said, he had his team, and Joe Robbins has his team. Like, do you know how many people are on? Like,
Bro, I know that like his team is it's a few people in the building, and then like he said, like even that person who works for or who runs like Clemson Tiger or whatever
Matthew.
Instagram, yeah, they outside the building, but like we got a whole lot of student interns. I don't know
Yeah.
how many, but it's a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Matthew Camp or whatever, he came and talked to one about other classes and he was telling me there was like a bunch of like student like interns that they
Yeah,
technically count as like their workers,
Yeah.
kinda.
yeah.
Are we done with that? I'll just go.
Yeah.
Um, okay, do y'all think that like real-time posting on game days helps fans feel more connected?
I think if you're not at the game, it definitely can because I know personally, I'm sorry, I did not make it into the FSU game. I was too tired. So I went back to my apartment and I could not get the game to pull up on YouTube TV. I don't know if it just wasn't on there and I was just
You
like,
can't watch it on there anymore
okay,
with the
see, I
new
didn't know
like
that, but I
yeah.
was trying to get it
Like
pulled up. So
UTTV doesn't have ABC, Disney Plus, ESPN.
yeah, so I
They had like
couldn't
contract
find it.
disputes.
And so I was just like, okay, whatever. So the whole game I was like looking at Google for the live score updates and then like the breakdown and then I was looking at Instagram and X. So like that was the way for me to watch the game this past weekend because I didn't go into it. So,
I was gonna say I definitely feel like right now with the YouTube TV stuff going on, it's definitely very beneficial.
okay, but when did this happen? Because I watched a game on YouTube TV like a few weeks
Like
ago.
like 2 weeks
weeks
ago.
ago.
Okay, because I
This
was gonna
weekend might
say
have been
when we
the
played.
first weekend,
Okay, because I was gonna say when we were
I
at
think.
UNC,
Yeah.
I watched it
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
away. Okay, yeah, I could not find it, and I was just like, I'm too tired to figure this out. So,
But I'm gonna agree with you. I also did not make it to the Florida State game, but like checking the Instagram after, like even after, and seeing like the on-field stuff shot with the iPhone, I think that's way better than seeing the
Hmm.
like the broadcast clips. I don't know. It just
yeah,
feels like you're
it's more
there.
personal.
I agree. Do y'all think or like how do you think NIL has changed what college athletes post and how they use their platforms?
Well, I
Well,
mean, Khalil, you can take it. You probably know better than the rest of us.
Yeah.
uh, like I don't even have Twitter on a regular, so by contract, when you sign, because you can't just get paid just to like just because you play good. So like in your contract, you get paid and like you have certain stuff that you have to contribute since you get paid, and that's like our social media posts. So like, I don't got Twitter right now because I made all the posts I already had to make for it. But like Instagram, I don't think I post on my Instagram a lot. I don't. I know I don't post real posts. I know I don't post a lot on my story, but every month we have to like post this thing for IPTE, I think, and like in the summer it was Tiger, or no, it was the 110 Society. So most of the stuff now is like, yes, you're still posting your own content or whatever you want to post and share out there, but like a lot of the deals going on, they're not really asking you to like go out there and shoot a commercial. They're asking you to, if we send you a product and pay you this, this, and this, can you post it and tell us like it's like show us love on Instagram
Mhm.
because they understand like you got a pretty good support cast.
That makes sense.
Um,
Um,
what do
Wait,
we think?
Khalil.
Oh,
I don't know if we're gonna have time for that one. Depends on how quick we can like wrap it up. We got like 5 minutes.
get two people to answer.
Okay, think of it in your heads. Okay, Khalil, you can
Um,
ask it.
what do we think makes sports accounts successful? Like, think it's like creativity, consistency, or like trying to find out to give fans like behind the scenes like access, kind of like Kyle was talking about.
All of the above.
Yeah, definitely.
Solid
Yeah.
I
answer.
mean, like we talked to Sammy Brown worshiper, and I think his account's becoming successful because it's funny and it's different. Like that's kind of the creativity component, and he's consistent with his posts, even though he's taking a break now. But he was consistent with his posts, and like Clemson football is very consistent. As he was saying, they kind of have the schedule that they know they're going to post those things each week. And I think whenever you're consistent on a platform, it boosts your post even more. So then you reach a larger audience.
I agree. Mhm.
Speaking of which, absolute double agent Sammy Brown worshiper caught at the UVA game last weekend, shirt off on the scoreboard,
Oh,
trying to hype the crowd up. I texted him. I was like, dude, is that you I just saw on the scoreboard? He was like, yeah, bro. Like, you know me. I was like, no shit, dude. Come on.
I told Jackson to blow him a kiss from me
I did not get that close, unfortunately.
since I didn't meet up with him when he was here for that game.
We're going to have to cut that part out. I hope he doesn't watch. Sorry,
I will. I'll
Josh.
cut it out. I'll cut it out. Okay,
Trying to
you
link.
want to do our outro?
Yeah, this is gonna make me emotional. Last one. All right. All right. Well, thank you again to Kyle for coming and talking to us, and thank y'all for being such great co-hosts to this awesome podcast. Thank you, Sam, for giving us this opportunity, putting us in this group. Thanks to all our fans out there for watching. You know, deuces from the All In Podcast.
for the last time.
For the last time.
Deuces.
6 out.